Welcome everybody to another video on Los Trades. I am Los and I trade everything Forex. It says it right here, I trade everything Forex. Eventually, maybe go into other fields, but for now, everything Forex. If you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, like this video, comment this video, it just shows me that you guys are learning, that you guys are taking the value that I'm trying to give you. And if not, like I said, man, you guys can always send me a message or comment down below any questions you guys may have. By the time you're watching this video, there should already be like 2 or 3 videos uploaded. I just haven't gotten to them. Really busy uh, lately. Um, on the other hand, also go follow my Instagram account, my trading Instagram account. I'm hoping to be more active on here and maybe build a community with you guys. Anyways, let's get straight into it. We are currently doing our FTMO challenge. Let's pull that up actually. Yes. Let's go to our metrics. Today was a very exciting day. As far as the progress being made on the account, it's the exact same thing as the previous video that I recorded for you guys. No progress today, no progress today at all. But it was a very exciting day in the markets, and I feel like even though we didn't take a trade, that shouldn't not give us an excuse to like not learn from what the trading day did today. So let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into it. I did take, or at least try to take, a position on GJ during Asian session, trying to hold it throughout, London and possibly, possibly New York for the continuation. As you guys can see, I have it right here. I have a buy stop. I had a buy stop at 158.230. As you guys can see right here, 158.230, and I had a buy stop, man. And for some reason, I woke up at 4 in the morning, and I was looking at my charts, and on my trading view, it was different. My entry line was already hit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have the account already transferred to my phone, so it's not like I could have gone on MetaTrader on my phone and checked to see if it actually got activated. So this whole entire time, I'm stressing. I'm like, yo, like really, it got eliminated. But essentially, I was just looking at this on the 4 hour. I was expecting, we had this clean push up from this consolidation area here on the 4 hour, right? This clean push over here. Let's take out our drawing tools because we got this for a reason, right? So we hopped out of this consolidation area right here, big push. And what is it that we like to do? We like to get into pullback. So here we have a little minor pullback on the 4 hour. I was like, all right, cool. We already, maybe this candle right here was the candle that we should have traded right here as it broke the previous 4 hour high to continue going up, you know. But I felt like it had more volume, especially with GJ recently. It's been very bullish on every time frame. You see, like every time frame has been very bullish. It's reaching like highs, highs that haven't been reached since like 2016, which obviously is like 5 years ago. So I expect the price to continue going up, maybe to, let's see, let's put this down, maybe to like 160, 160.174. That's what I expected, with clean range to the left hand side on the higher time frames. Obviously, that didn't happen. Luckily, um, my buy limit didn't get touched. Like honestly, it was, let's see how far, almost barely a pip that didn't get touched. And this drop happened because I believe CPI news came out at 2 in the morning, and that was my mistake. I shouldn't have placed a trade and gone to sleep, especially with such volatile news as CPI. Obviously, the pound had negative numbers, thus the yen gained some strength and continued down towards the downside, obviously. But looking at it, let's transfer it into New York session, which is obviously the session that I do trade. Um, we can clearly see right here on the 4 hour, right? So let's take our tool right quick, right? We came up and then did a nice little pullback and then continue going up, right? Continue going up. Did a nice little minor pullback, continue going up. Now we made a high, right? So at the time of almost New York session, obviously this was the candle that was open here. So let's take out it here. This was the candle that was open before. Obviously this is the 9 a.m 4 a.m candle, this is the 5 a.m. So pre New York and New York open is within this candle, so obviously we were continuing to go down. But if you looked at the higher time frames, I mean, this is just a pullback. In essence, it was really just a pullback. you know it was a pullback down to this level right here. You see how it retested it almost perfectly. This was like a 40, it rejected, this area right here, you know, this area that was once resistance now being formed as support, right? So this was like a 40 pip rejection wick right here. 40 pip rejection, almost 40 pip rejection wick, right? So let's go down to the smaller time frames, and we see obviously, there were sell positions that you could have entered. For example, right here, obviously we made a high on the 1 hour market structure. We made a high, right? So right here we're bullish, correct? Right here we're bullish, right? We have an impulse, retracement, impulse. Now we made a high, right? But look at how this wasn't necessarily a pullback. Maybe it could have been a pullback, maybe if it went, and retested right here, this level right here. But in essence, it didn't do that. It just continued going further down, right? Essentially breaking market structure right here. So now we're like, okay, we're in a downtrend. As far as the 1 hour goes, potentially we're on a downtrend, but we also have to keep in mind that we are potentially just doing a pullback here on the 4 hour, right? So I could have taken, I would say, I could have taken sells here as, price broke below the support right here, right? It was used as support. These rejections right here now being used as resistance, right? We had a low minor support right here, right? However, this candle was able to close below. You see the body of this candle. Let's zoom in. The body of this candle was able to close further down than these candles, signifying that we have strong pressure, strong pressure, bearish pressure to the downside, obviously. So and it left us a wick. So, you could have easily gotten on this 1 hour, as the 1 hour opened right here, made a top wick, and as the 1 hour closed or actually broke that previous wick, let's take out our, you know, stop loss would have been like, just to be safe, 11 pips, you know. Oh, and eventually, before this candle obviously closed bullish, we were able to go down for 38 pips. Um, like I said, that would have been like temporary sells, because it was more of a counter trend trade. But just telling you guys what I saw while I was in the market, right? Just moving into everything, moving more ahead of time. This is New York Open, right? So at the start of New York Open, we created this support here, right? Because it grabbed liquidity to the downside. You see how this liquidity wick, it was able to, it was going, further down, so everybody's like, okay, like it's gonna go further down, probably to retest 156, you know. But this candle grabbed liquidity from the downside and closed bullish, right? So now, whenever there's a bearish close and then a bullish close, that we form a support, right? So now, all right, cool. We go to the higher time frames. We see, okay, look, it's rejecting this level right here, this 157 200 level. This little range right here is rejecting it, right? So what is the possibility that we might have a pullback right now? So obviously, you go down to the smaller time frames and you check out what's going on, right? I feel like either this candle right here or this candle was your trading candle, right? And by trading candle, I mean is like the candle that you actually executed on, right? Because it wouldn't make sense to go into a buy if price is still bearish, if it's still showing bearish candles, right? You have to wait for candles to close, right? So, I was looking at as I had some levels right here. I also had this level. I was like, okay, like, it might come back. If it's truly in a bearish momentum, since we broke structure here on the 1 hour, if it's truly in a bearish momentum, it's going to reject these areas. But look at how, this candle closed bullish, then this candle closed above this little minor support area, right? And then this candle wicked down, right? And then we're heading towards London close, right? Where there's a lot of volume. It wicked down and continued to break above, right? Essentially, finally touching the 158 zone for a good amount of 60 pips. But essentially, I would have probably held if I took this position for 40 pips, right? And another confirmation was that it was breaking the previous 4 hour high, right? So the moment that this 4 hours breaking the previous 4 hour high, I already know, like it's gonna continue going up, right? So let's write down our confirmations. Just might seem tedious, but it's essential for us to write down our confirmations and see what's going on. So obviously, overall structure is bullish, right? Overall structure is bullish, so that means buys are favored. I'm gonna just put favored, right? Right. Then pull back. Oh my goodness. Pull back to previous resistance at 157. I would say like 200, right? This level over here, right? So now we have a nice low pullback, right? And then on the 1 hour, right? Let's move this over here. The 1 hour, we have liquidity grab, and form support, right? And then broke the 4 hour high. And obviously, I mean, you can continue going with your confluences, you know, New York session volume or London close volume, you know, and for it to, you know, so we're lining up all of our confluences right here, right? And you know, just adding all of them up and creating the perfect scenario. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, okay, so let's say maybe I didn't take this trade right here, right? Maybe I was like, okay, it's not gonna do it. Okay. Maybe I didn't take this trade right here either, right? Okay, so let's go down to the smaller time frames and see exactly what happened. I could have easily, if I didn't take any of these trades right here, if I didn't take any of these trades right here, I could have easily gotten into this trade as soon as it started to break. Remember, because this yellow line signifies a 4 hour high. As soon as it started to break this 4 hour high, right, I could have easily taken this trade and rode it all the way up to, I don't know, like 158, right? 158. Right? Because we see here, obviously we have a support liquidity grab, came up, retested, you know, this previous support here that we broke below, right? Early in pre New York, right? And then this candle was able to push above these highs, right? And then close above this level right here. Right, so if it was able to close above this level, plus we're going to break the 4 hour high, plus structure is bullish. Plus, we had a nice pullback on the 4 hour. I mean, it was a perfect trade, you know. But essentially, the only reason I didn't take this trade is because I was not on the charts. I was like, all right, you know, nothing's gonna happen or whatnot. But it is what it is, you know. Like I just have to be mindful, you know, and stay the whole entire time, you know, that I need to be on the charts. But I mean, in hindsight, I mean, this played out perfectly. It played out perfectly, you know, for a total of 46 pips. You know, obviously your stop loss would have probably been like below this range right here for a good 10 pips. Anyways, that was the move that I seen on GJ. Luckily, our buy stop that we had did not get activated. I learned from that. Like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. If I'm not on the charts, I'm just not gonna trade. I just, you know, all these positions that I've tried to take were based on the 4 hour, and maybe I just have to back test a little bit more that concept before I actually start executing on it. So going to gold, I didn't take anything on gold today. Let's look at on trading view actually. Yeah, I didn't take anything on gold today. Obviously, so if you guys don't know, this shaded area right here is highlighted time from New York session, so it starts at 6, or at least, you know, what I think, when I come to the market or try to come to the market from 6 all the way up until like, you know, like 10, I believe, or 11:30, I don't know, something like that. Anyways, you know, with gold, we were pushing, right, from Asian session, just like kind of like how happened yesterday, right? There was a pattern, right? There's a pattern, right? Yesterday, yes. So yesterday, yes, exactly. Yesterday we pushed up during Asian session and London session, and then came to this resistance, right? Remember those trades that I showed you guys yesterday about that I took trying to catch the 4 hour this move right here to continue going towards the upside, since on the higher time frames we have clean range. So obviously that's the 4 hour. You know, on the higher time frames, looking at it right here, we have clean range. So I was like, all right, you know, like I'm gonna take it. It's breaking 4 hour highs. You know, let's, you know, whatever. If you guys haven't seen that, just go watch my last video. Um, so yeah, so I was like, okay, you know, we're probably gonna, you know, it was doing the exact same thing today. So obviously we had this push in Asian session through London session, and then we got to this resistance right here. So I was like, okay, cool. Now we got to this resistance, right? Let's just use our replay tool just so that I can eliminate as much um like just noise from the right hand side. You guys can understand better. So I was like, okay, this is a very strong resistance. I was telling myself, man, like if we come to this resistance, I want at least a 30-minute or a 1 hour close because, excuse me, you know, I was even feeling iffy about a 15-minute close. Honestly, like I was feeling iffy about a 15-minute close because look how these 15 minutes, right? Because we're on the 15-minute time frame. Look how these 15 minutes broke above all these highs but closed below. This did exactly the same thing even further and then closed below. I was like, man, this is a very delicate area. So I was like, like I would just want a higher time frame candle close, like a 30-minute or a 1 hour. I couldn't wait for a 4 hour. I could have waited for a 4 hour, but you know how gold is when it gets to these ranges. Right, so I was like looking, I was like, all right, man, like sales kind of look a little choppy. If we were to take sales, obviously we have this support right here. you know Probably break the support all the way down to here to 1775, but it just looks really choppy. I mean, price when it came to London session, it was moving with a lot of wicks and rejections, and I don't know, I just really didn't like price action, and I just didn't really like any sales. So I was like, okay, like I'm gonna wait for price to continue going further up. I'm gonna wait for price to continue going further up, to potentially look for a good setup, right? So let's continue. Boom, right? So I was like, okay, cool. What's this candle right here? This 8:30 candle, 8:30 a.m. candle started to break above, right? Started to break above. I didn't take a trade because I was like, okay, this is probably repeating the exact same thing that I was doing over there. I was like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Like, let's look down to the 15 minute. The 15 minute actually closed above. The 15-minute actually closed above. So I was like, okay, looking to the left hand side, there has not been any 15-minute that has closed above, right? There hasn't been any at this level. There hasn't been any 15 minutes that has closed above. So if the next 15-minute, right? If the next 15-minute is able to make a wick down, rejection to the 1782 level, break above this previous wick. I mean, it's just to the moon, like literally to the moon. But obviously, I had to be patient. Obviously, you guys can see that this um this 15-minute candle wasn't able to do that. It kind of just went down into this little rejection, right? So this is the 815 candle, right? This is the 815. Now let's go to the 830, right? So this was, I believe, the trade that kind of respected the trend, right? I believe this was, and I was like kind of feeling iffy because I was like, like on the 30-minute, we kind of, if we line up our zone right here, if we line up our zone on a 30-minute, we kind of close below. Like, do you guys see this? You guys see the body of this candle right here? It kind of closed below. Let me, yeah, let me take my cursor out. It closed below this resistance, right? And so I expected, this candle to continue going down. I was like, man, you know, if it does surpass this wick right here, I mean, it should continue going further up. It should continue going further up. And I mean, that's exactly what it did. I promise, I kid you not, it was like 40 minutes in about 10, 15 minutes. And there's one 15-minute candle. As you guys can see, 40 pips in 15 minutes. Like, it was literally ridiculous. I mean, maybe on the 5 minute is what I'm thinking that this could have been taken, right? Maybe on the 5 minute, as we guys can see that, we on the 5 minute we have nice structure. We have high, little pullback, high, little pullback, boom, right? It could have possibly been taken right here at this level, but I'm still trying to, I don't really mess with the 5 minute like that. I'm not at that level yet. I'm not comfortable with that just yet. So I'm still trying to, test that whole entire concept out. But, maybe at the 5 minute, as this 5 minute, went above or whatnot. That's how I believe that I could have taken this trade. Obviously stops right below here, and overall, taking partials, aiming for this level right here. All right, so I was like, all right, cool. I missed that trade, whatever, whatever. It's still early. It's only 8:30. Let's wait. Right, boom. NYSE coming in, right? And NYSE, we always understand that, there's usually a pullback in NYSE, right? There's usually a little pullback that happens, but I was like, man, this is a pullback. Like, we're breaking lows over here for like days. like literally, look at this, boom. So it came all the way down, right down to freaking 1775, right? So I was like, man, that was a heavy pullback. So now, I guess we have liquidity wick. And at this point, I was getting a little late. I was like, man, it's already 9:30, you know. And then this one was at 10. I was like, man, like, gold is just playing right now, And then it just got to the point where obviously it broke the high here, but I didn't even decide to take this trade because it was already too late. Maybe I could have taken the trade. Maybe I was just being a little too careful, I guess. But, you know, eventually it just, did what it did. And, you know, as it, this is 12 o'clock. And, eventually it touched this resistance. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it was like, look how choppy it would have been. If I would have taken, an entry, for example, right here, you know, to reach these highs, it would have it would have stopped me out at my entry, if I would have had break even. So I mean, pretty good moves looking back at it in hindsight. Just I have to be, the I guess the moves happened early and then late. Like this move was pre-New York. Uh, what other move happened that was pretty good on gold? Let's see. I think it was on the 1 hour. Yeah, this 1 hour breaking above and continue. I mean, yeah, like like happened. This was really the only move. This move right here above this 1782 level. This is the only move that happened like during New York that was actually I could have caught. But other than that, every other move just happened either early or too late. So I just gotta adjust. Really, gotta probably wake up a little bit earlier and then continue from there. But yep, that's today. Today is 10:20. October 20th, 2021. Tomorrow is Thursday, so we're gonna see what Thursday holds for us. I'm thinking about doing, you know, I'm thinking about like just recording snippets of me actually live trading, like at 8 in the morning. Obviously, you guys can see it's 7:42. Um, just doing like live trades, like snippets of live trades, or like when I first come into the market, like actually putting analysis and going through that whole process, and then like cutting it, and then like maybe going through, oh look guys, this is what I'm waiting for, and like actually seeing what the market is doing, and then you guys seeing me actually take the trade, you know live, obviously not live, but in the moment in the video live, and then, ending it off with the result. I think it would be easier to do that, and I think it would be, these videos won't be that as long. But, like I said, even if these videos are long, if you guys don't watch it, I'm gonna watch it. But I believe that there's a lot of value in these videos, and if you feel confused about anything about a concept or an idea or something that I said, I mean, feel free to hit me up on Instagram or on in the comment section. I'll try my hardest to get back to you. I mean, I probably would get back to you honestly because I reply pretty quick. Um, but that's it for today. We're gonna see what tomorrow brings. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment, do whatever you got to do. Follow my Instagram as well at Lowe's Trades, Lowe's.trades actually. It's right here. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys later. And yeah, Lowe's Trades out.